Hey friends, welcome into the Hypocrisy Nation. And I am your host, John from John's Comics with Kids. I'm here to do a little live stream talking about my change of mind about some things, specifically channel memberships. But I want to say hello to some friends in the chat. We got people tailgating in here early, like 90. What is up, Chad? He says YouTube used to be 90, and it will again. It will be again. I have faith. I believe in you, my good sir. We got Gordon in the chat. He says people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. I got a lot of stones, apparently. I got a lot of stones. What is up? Rod the Rican just was live. I was in his chat. Now he's in my chat. That's friendship. That's appreciated. Thank you, sir. Hello to Las Cruces, who was somehow beaten by 1, 2, 3 people, including me, but I don't count, or plus me. Good to see you, sir. Hello to New Mexico from us all. We got Christina Payne in the chat, moderator extraordinaire. We got DJ Wise in the chat. What's going on? Bleaker is like, someone is getting stoned. What? I don't even know what's going on. We got Two Gun Pedro in the chat. What is going on? Happy to see you. John is a hypocrite. That checks out. That's accurate. That's fair. That jives, right? We're all well aware of this. Christina's already dropping all of those links, and I hugely appreciate her doing so. So let's get to the big mustached elephant in the room. The main topic for this live stream is channel memberships. There's a join button on my channel now, and people can become a member for my channel. And I want to preface this firstly by saying you don't have to do that. This is really just an opportunity for me to try to balance out the ongoing challenging costs of StreamYard or what have you. For those that don't know, most of us in the comic book community use a program called StreamYard to be able to do live streams like this. StreamYard was about $200 a year, and I was kind of balancing that and making it work. But they are more than doubling the cost. At the end of this month, StreamYard's cost for me go to almost $500 a year. I don't know if I said month earlier. I should not have. $500 a year. It was 200 something a year. Now it's going to be almost $500 a year, which is significant. And I can't ignore it. I tried to think through it in a lot of different ways. I'm even looking at some alternatives to StreamYard. There's a couple of them out there. I want to make sure that the programs don't change, that the channel stays the same, because I'm enjoying the content still right now. I'm hopeful that you are feeling that way. But yeah, Gordon, it's basically close to about $500 a year to use StreamYard. And yes, a lot of people are. I know that Restream, some people have tried out, but I don't like the functionality of it. I want the programming to kind of stay the same. I know that my man Jigs Kingdom found a company that I think is closer to what I would like and would be closer to the price point, but still, several $100s a year to be able to use their platform to stream and to have all the little videos and clips and things that I want to be able to share. So a lot of that kind of stuff to keep it going, to keep the lights on and to keep this kind of working requires money. It's gonna require some money, and I don't want this hobby, beyond the cost of comic books and whatever else, I don't need that on top of it. So my goal is to offset some of that, and channel memberships is the best way to do it. I've put this off for a long time, and I've had people reaching out to me for years. Coach Vic Coach Vic alone has probably spent many days just trying to poke me into doing channel memberships, because his attitude was very much like, look, people want to support, they want to be involved, create some way for them to do that. And that's easily done through channel memberships. What are channel memberships? The idea is that for a certain dollar amount a month, you can contribute to a channel. YouTube, takes their bite, whatever it is, 30% or 10%. I don't even know what it is. I think it's like 30%. I don't know. They take their bite, but then the rest of that money goes towards supporting the channel and maintaining the quality that you want to have. So for me, I decided to set up 3 different channel levels. I've talked to a few people in the community about this, specifically this guy right here. We chatted about it just because I wanted him to be aware if it felt like the channel was changing in some way, or the programming was slightly different, it was going to impact people like Justin, who I do regular shows with. So we chatted a little bit about it, and I sent him some of the other alternatives to StreamYard just so that we could both be kind of researching options for whenever our renewal point hits. My renewal point comes up in about 2 weeks, and I wanted to be ready for it, and I didn't want to be caught off guard. So channel memberships seems like the easiest way to do it, because if I can get a handful of people saying, yeah, for a certain dollars a month, I'm happy to contribute, that will obviously offset the costs of doing StreamYard and using any program, no matter what it is, because there's none that are totally free and yet have the functionality that we're being used here. When Justin and I can have, 2 or 3 friends on with us, we can share a slideshow program and go through the comics and things like that. That requires software and requires a website. And so usually there is a dollar amount attached to that. And to this point, I've been absorbing that. I've just been paying it. I've just been considering it part of doing this, part of content creation. And it's not like a YouTube channel of my size makes money enough to offset that. It was just sort of something like, it's part of doing this. But a massive increase by StreamYard is really not going to be in my budget. And so hence channel memberships. I'm going to run through now the 3 platforms that I've got, the 3 tiers or levels that which people can join. Give a little bit of information about them. I've also got an edited video I'll probably be dropping tomorrow that breaks it down probably more succinctly than this, because I'm almost 10 minutes in and I haven't even gotten to it yet, but that's what it is. So here's what it looks like. Here are the 3 tiers. The lowest tier I call the New Mutants tier, and that's $1.99 a month, and you get your name appearing in green whenever you're in my live streams. Your name will be in green. You can also choose you'll have a loyalty badge next to your name. It's an X, X-Men fans will have a little X next to their name. And then you'll have access to all the emojis that the channel has. So you'll be able to drop specific emojis. I got a storm emoji. I got a X-Men emoji. I got a Lego emoji. And sorry, JP, but I have a Cyclops emoji because I thought it was funny. So there is a Cyclops emoji. And the more people that join, the more Lego, the more loyalty badges I can have, the more emojis I can have, all that kind of stuff. So that's the first piece. The second layer is called the X-Men Squad. For that group, you get all the stuff I mentioned for the first level, but you also get shout outs and videos. So I will be making like a little screen image that I can put up that has all the names of the people that are at that tier, the $4.99 or above tier, and give them a shout out and just thank them each time we do a show. So in videos, live streams, I'll be throwing that title card up for them. So that's the extra perk for being at that level for basically the price of a comic book. And that's once a month, right? And then lastly, I have the Book Club Coalition. So this crew gets interaction on the show. Not only will they have all that other stuff, I'll also be dropping their links in the description for my videos. And then I'll also be letting them pick a book as a group. All the $9.99 people pick a book every month, and I will be making a short and including it in my book club reviews. So you guys can decide. You can make me read pretty much anything as long as it's a comic, a single issue of a comic. And if the group agrees on that one book, that's the book that I will be reading that month. So the $9.99 crew are guiding the content in a little bit of a way. So they're part of the Book Club Coalition. If they want to go $10 a month, they're going to be able to vote. I will be basically each month giving them the option to tell me which books they want me to do, and then I'll give them the books to choose from. There'll be a poll on my community tab just for the members, and the members can vote, and that book is the one that I will review. So there's a little bit of inclusion there with some of those homies too. Holy cow. And of course, what better thing than for Veterans Day to have a vet be the first person to become a member of my channel. So thank you, huge thank you to X11 Bravo. If you guys are unaware of all the amazing things for veterans that are happening through X11 Bravo, you're missing out. I was just chatting with him on Instagram a second ago. So huge thank you for becoming a channel member. First one, look at him. He's already dropping, he's already dropping his emojis. He's already got his icon next to his name. He is in. He's already locked and loaded on that. I'm just doing this YouTube stuff for fun. Gonna have to drop StreamYard for something else. That's fair. Big Herminio, I totally get it. And I think there are people choosing that right now because they have to decide. Are they able to absorb the cost of something like a StreamYard, or do they go with a free option that maybe has less functionality? They can't have as many people join them, or you name it, right? So those are both things that that work. Yeah. I love this comment. I had to go with, make John read Snyder. I mean, it's real, right? You can get John to read Scott Snyder. It's possible. That is a reality. I want a hashtag I can support Justin. Make John read Snyder. There it is. More of that. You were the first. Yes, you were the very first, sir. I'm literally doing a live stream right now offering this option for the very first time. So yeah, you are you. I don't want to say off the cherry, but you did, sir. You did. You were an A number one. The first through the door, right? The first through the door. There you go. And absolutely, I am honored in return, sir. I appreciate you big time. So yeah, that's my big spiel. That's the big idea here. I totally understand what's the hypocrite side of this, because for the longest time I said I don't know that I feel comfortable having a paywall between my friends and my community and the things that I make. I always wanted kind of like not transparency, but connectivity. And I felt like if there was a paywall in there somewhere, it felt like a business and not like a community. So here's my way around that conundrum, because I did not want to create a ton of members only content where, oh, you can't watch this because you're not a channel member. Instead, I wanted those people that are contributing to be able to be thanked, to be able to be recognized, and then in some cases to contribute to the content, so that it's not exclusive content. I'm not ready to be doing exclusive content, but it will be content that they can guide. So if they're recommending a comic that I read that month, they're helping to guide the channel towards those content pieces. And that felt more inclusive and less exclusive, if that makes sense. That's the way I rationalize this to myself, because for the longest time, the exclusivity of channel memberships was a huge turnoff for me. The members only live streams, the members only videos, a lot of that stuff felt difficult for me to wrap my brain around. So what I wanted to do with my channel memberships was something that was not going to restrict access, but instead like expand access, right? So the $9.99 tier, if somebody's contributing that every month, they get to help guide content for the channel, books I'll be reading and reviews I'll be making and interactions with that media. So in that way, it felt less like a paywall block and more like an opportunity to contribute in some way. This guy. Oh, Mark is hilarious. I love it, man. I was chatting with Mark this morning because I'm having issues on my phone seeing the join button. And I was like, is this me? Am I blind? Am I having an issue here? I still haven't figured it out, Mark. I've rebooted. I've deleted the app. I've updated as much as I could. I still couldn't see it. So accurate. Oh my gosh. So my big challenge was, how do I create the content that I want to create, but then also includes a way of appreciating people who are involved in it in some way. He sold out to me first, John. And to cool collected Ruben Guzman is the second member of the channel. I just huge thank you, my friend, for clicking that button, Ruben. You are too awesome, my guy. I appreciate that big time, sir. And John is in the chat. What's going on, John? If you guys don't know Castle's Corner, you're missing out on some great discussions around comic books. He's been doing videos with Bueller lately. Just really blowing up, doing a ton of work. Oh, crud. He knows I sold out because Mark is here now. Now Mark has to have an X-Men logo next to his name. which you could argue win or lose. But he has access to that Cyclops emoji if he wants to use that Cyclops emoji. We'll see how far this goes. Since I'm a paid member now, let's change the name of this tier. No DC, not as much DC love on the tiers on this side. So funny. So yeah, that's the way the tiers are organized as of now. I definitely wanted to be inclusive with some of this and make sure people felt like they understood my goals for some of these things. I don't want to change the content of the channel. I don't want to change what we're doing because I do feel like I'm having a lot of fun right now. And that's the part I've enjoyed the most is I really want this to continue to be something I am enjoying doing. And it has been almost all the way along. There've been highs and lows and things like that, but this has always been something I've enjoyed, and I don't want that to go away. So whatever I was doing for these memberships, I wanted it to be something that continued to create that level of enjoyment for me and maintain it. And the way I got through to myself on that, the way I got the dunce cap on my head was to say, I can be thanking these people, I can be supporting these people that are supporting me, and I can also be crafting some content that is guided by some of their support. So that's where I'm at with it. If you have suggestions, if you have ideas, obviously I want to be aware of that. I want to be connected to you on that. So if you have those comments, ideas, or concerns about the channel in any way, you can certainly drop me those comments and those Instagram messages. Legion sharing out 5 gifted memberships. I don't even know where they landed. It's kind of like I've seen people do this in chats, and I don't know how it works. But those members are now Wellbore. Wellbore is now a member. He got a membership for this month. So congrats to Wellbore. Las Cruces got one. It looks like they're landing like I don't know. This is like fairy dust down on top of people. You can gift, yeah. So you can gift memberships. I've seen people do that in chats. It's randomized. You don't get to pick the members. The idea is those things go out, and if the fairy dust lands on you, like it landed on Castle, boom, that's where you are now. You have access for the next month to have those emojis and those kinds of things, right? What is up? Bethany is in the chat. Bethany, thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. Much appreciated. I don't know who else landed. If anybody else got any of those, the magic fairy dust that came floating down on top of anybody. Ruben says, you get a membership and you get a membership. Huge thank you to Mark, though. He's always been a big supporter of mine, and I like to think hopefully he feels I'm a big supporter of his in return. I think his content has always been inspiring to me, just the amount of time and effort he puts in. Even, as a dad with little kids, I understand how complicated and hard that can be. And he is just it's just a consistent turner out of content and quality content at that. So yeah, there you go. Right. A Veterans Day gift for you, right? There it is. A Veterans Day gift to another vet. So I got happy Veterans Day, of course, to those of you who have served or are serving. Very grateful for that service and for the freedoms that has gifted me in my life. So huge happy Veterans Day to all of them. I want to again just be transparent that a big part of this for me is the ongoing challenging costs of streaming on YouTube, and wanting to make sure that didn't fall on my family or my collecting or any of those kinds of things. And so a big part of this decision for me came down with StreamYard deciding that they were going to just massively, in my opinion, up the cost of their programming. And because of that, I felt it was a good idea for me to level that playing field by having some of that cost be coming through, right? Do you have a search with a lot of, you want the logo to be a little bigger, just a little bigger? How about if it was on the back? Would that help? Would that Would that help? Um, and thanks, Kingpin. I appreciate that. I wanted to be transparent about it. I wanted to be clear about it. It wasn't a decision I took lightly because I've been thinking about it for a little while now. Once StreamYard made their announcement, once it became clear that people were already being up, the cost was jumping for all of them. I wanted to be conscious of what that meant for both my channel and for me financially. Like, $500 a year is not nothing. It is definitely something. And I wanted to be cognizant of how that was going to impact my comics, my content creation, and all those kinds of things. And I wanted to be dedicated to it. I like StreamYard a lot. I think the functionality of StreamYard is incredible. I think the price hike is wild. And I don't know that I see necessarily what I'm getting for it. Although I do know, and maybe Mark, you know more about this as well. You're very well researched. It seems like what they want to do is offset the cost by giving you increased high definition options, right? Obviously, high def runs a ton of bandwidth. It can be very hard on servers and things. And so what I think they're doing is hoping that this helps them offset the cost of the all of the high definition options that they want to have eligible for content creators. And so money is how they make that ship work. And so I'm assuming that that's kind of a big part of what's going on there for them. But if you know otherwise, that was what my takeaway was. You're the only person really thinking about it, John. We understand. Okay, well, I mean, I'm probably overthinking it, absolutely, as I'm wont to do. So definitely something that's in my brain is I never got into this to want to be like a salesman. I never got into this to want to like sell people things and have them feel like I'm like out there trying to like bilk them for anything. I definitely do a lot of stuff that I mean, like obviously just Saturday I was an auctioneer, but I like to think I'm doing those things like Mark is for Comics Curing Cancer or for veterans. And I'm not trying to do those kind of things to reward myself because, I'm doing very well and I'm very lucky in my life. But I also know that if I want to keep doing this, and I do, as my midlife crisis, basically this is my midlife crisis, way better than a sports car or uh, another lady friend on the side. I think this was a very creative outlet for me. And I like being able to be creative and to interact with people and to share some joy and love of these things. And so for me, like, I wanted this to keep going. I don't want this to end. And even if it did, I guess one day I would still have all the phone numbers of all my friends and still be talking to all of them, but it wouldn't be as interactive. And I wouldn't have all of you in the chat that are maybe more camera shy, but still really interactive socially. So I want this part of it, this community part of it, to last as long as it possibly can. And I don't want to lose out on any of that. Legion says, I'll admit they're always pushing the platform. They updated it at the price hike to help larger business models that use it. Nothing much in the way for solo folks yet. And that was kind of my view as well. Oh, looks like Canadian got the other membership. So congrats to you, Canadian. You have dropped that storm emoji because it's there and waiting for you, my friend. Well, you sold us on the mustache already. What's a membership at this point? You're not. I've been debating the memberships also, but I didn't want to limit people's access. And that was kind of my thing with the exclusivity versus inclusivity. And my thoughts were, how do I build tiers where people feel like they can contribute, and yet they also aren't. I'm not making extra content just for them and keeping a paywall between me and other people who are enjoying the content. So the inclusivity exclusivity debate was a big challenge for me, for sure. More value than Kroger coupons, says Phil. Good to see you, Phil. I hope you're doing well. I know you've had some roller coasters going on here this fall. I hope things are evening out for you. You can always close a membership after transparent costs are fulfilled. That's a great point, Knights of Old. And I think, people can always unsubscribe and resubscribe to those kinds of things as well. So there definitely is options for people to make those decisions that are financially, logical for them, right? We got Old Wolf in the chat. What's going on, Tony? The mustache is going to require maintenance, oils, grooming tools. It's an investment. I should start a GoFundMe for the mustache. My wife is having the opposite. What is a defund the mustache? That's where she's at. I'll keep my membership opinions to myself. I respect them, and I have voiced them in the past, and that's part of the hypocrite thumbnail for this video. I've definitely voiced my concerns about memberships, mostly in the concept that it requires more content creation, and I'm, trying to balance work and a family and normal life and this. And I don't know that I have time to create more content, on top of what I'm already doing. And I don't necessarily want to change the content I'm making. So it was a lot of thinking for me just to be deciding, okay, how do I want to make people feel like they are getting something for their investment? And yet also, how do I want to make sure I'm offsetting costs? So that was the debate going on inside of me and a lot of those things. Those of you that do reviews have an easy way to do a membership. Give a member a vote on what you review. And that's definitely what I'm including at the highest tier on my memberships. An opportunity to be involved in helping to choose those books that I'm going to be reviewing. So I appreciate anybody that wants to get in on that tier and have a discussion and be a part of those decisions, because that's fantastic for me. And it's a great way to be connected on that, right? If I grew a mustache, it would make me look younger, like say 15. And I will say, when I shaved the beard, I felt colder. It was cold, but also younger, because I got rid of all these grays. Now the gray is starting to come back. So it's all a roller coaster ride. All right. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Monch is in the chat. What's going on, Monch? Good to see you. So yeah, that's the biggest discussion piece. For the right price, it turns this into a DC. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, right? You're if the $9.99 crew all vote together that they wanted me to read the new issue of Batman, that's the book I'm reviewing. That's the book I'm getting, and that's the book I'm reviewing. So that's the highest tiered level for sure on this whole process. So I guess that's to put all Green Lantern. I mean, I don't have a problem with any of this. The truth is, more comic reading is always a good thing. I'm always really happy about it. How does one actually sign up for membership? Great question, Bleak. I hugely appreciate you asking this. So if your phone is not having problems like mine, or your laptop, you go to the channel page, like the home page for the channel, and right next to the subscribe button should be a join button. I was having issues spotting it on my phone. I was having discussions with Mark this morning about it, just trying to figure out why it wasn't there. I reloaded the app, updated all my things that I needed to update, and it's still not appearing there. It's appearing on my laptop, on my computer. I can see the join button. Excuse me. But it should be there, and it's not on my phone. And we were comparing, his channel, on his phone and on my phone. And for whatever reason, I couldn't see it. And I'm still wondering if I need to update my iOS, perhaps, if that's the problem. But most people's phones, when you use the phone, you should be able to go to the channel. And I'll show you what it looked like for Mark when he sent it to me this morning. So here's Cliff's page. And it should say subscribe and then join. And then he has his store right underneath. So the join button should be right there. But I was telling him on my phone, it was just a large subscribe button, and it was not right there. I ended up having to go and look at some of those things on my laptop to be able to see the join button more easily. So it could be an iOS thing. It could be an update that needs to come through. And it looks like Bleak is saying, yeah, it's not on his phone right now. He can't see it. So it should be there on a computer instead. And I know some people are having, like Monch is saying, an easier time viewing those things on their laptops, on their devices. However, there have been times when I have been able to see it on my phone. So I don't know if it's just an issue with the latest update and maybe certain phones having an issue spotting that. I don't know. So maybe I've got an iPhone, so maybe it's an iPhone issue that's coming along with the current iteration of YouTube on the phone. But it should be right there. So those of you looking to do that can just go to the main page for a channel like mine, like Mark's, like Rod's, and it should be directly next to the subscribe button. Theoretically, if it's doing it right, I could actually screen share. I go to Legion of Comics and share that. You can see what it looks like on my page here. And if I screen share that, and I'll reiterate that here in a second, Tony. I was just doing that at the beginning. So let me share that. So you can kind of see there's Mark's page. And it says Legion of Comics. Then right next to his logo, it says subscribed with the little notification bell mark. And then next to that, it says join. I don't know if you can see it change color like that when I'm going across it, but there you go. That's what it should look like theoretically. What are you gonna do? Yeah. So that's the pay range. Christina hit it right there for sure. What is going on? Yeah, probably a mobile versus desktop updates thing. Usually desktop is faster to update. Could be, but it's weird on my phone. I don't know what it's been doing. It's only been of late. But to answer Tony's question, there are 3 different tiers I've got going right now. The lowest tier is the New Mutants tier. You get the loyalty badges. You get the emojis that people are dropping in the chat. Storm, Cyclops, X-Men. It's mostly mutant related, but there is a Lego emoji as well. And the more people that subscribe, the more emojis I get access to. Then there's an X-Men squad level for the price of basically a comic book or a little less. You get shout outs in the videos. I'll put up a little card at the end of my videos, shouting out the people who are members, giving thanks to those people. And then the $9.99 level is these are monthly prices. You get to help vote on a book I'm going to review each month. So those people get to have their links in the video as well, and then help me decide on a book to review. I'll make a short on it, and I'll include it in book club at the end of the month as well to do a little review. So there you go. So there, Big Will says he can see the join on his phone. I think it's kind of interesting. Let's see. Only happening. I was able to join from the phone. There often are issues happening with the join button on mobile devices. Okay, there you go. May need to update that app. And I know some people are having the issue or not, depending on potentially what iOS they're running, what kind of phone they're using. I'm sure those kind of things do impact the issue that I was having. So that was just me. That's it for me. That's mostly what I wanted to say. I will drop a short 3 to 5 minute video kind of breaking this down more succinctly at some point, probably tomorrow. I just wanted to have a dialogue, be as verbose as I wanted to be without worrying about it, and then kind of be clear with people what the plan was for the channel, how this would impact what I'm doing, which is hopefully not at all. And hopefully it would just be expanding the inclusion aspect of how this community on my channel. That's my hope, and that's my goal for that for sure. Yeah, I got to go spin the magic wheel of doom. There you go. Be lucky. Good luck with that. Hope it goes well. Don't tell Tony we help in Discord, and I got you. There you go. Discord, Jigs Discord is the place for help, I guess, which has not been my experience, but there you go. Be honest, you need money with stash oils. It's true. It is true. It is very true. So that is it for today. Let's talk a little bit about the videos. I'm going to do Legion is really great at this, but I'm going to run through and try to do it myself. I will try to share what's coming up on my channel because I got a few things going on this week, and I want to make sure I'm not forgetting them because I am that kind of guy. I am that kind of person. I don't want to be too forgetful. I want to be somewhat able to keep track of my things. So here's what I got coming up. Later this week, I'm doing a video on Strange Academy. So those of you that are Strange Academy fans, I'm going to be doing a video on that. You can get involved with some of what's going on there. This is part of the series that I'm doing, ongoing books for your kids. We got to get kids interested in this hobby. We got to get kids excited about this hobby. And I've been doing a video every week, just picking a graphic novel or a comic of some kind that kids can then use as a way to get into experiencing and enjoying comics. So this week it's Strange Academy, but go back through the playlist. There's a ton of great ideas if you're looking for stuff to buy kids for the holidays. Lots of good recommendations and ideas in there, depending on the age of the kids, right? Today I dropped action movies that I recommend on Netflix, on Prime, on Hulu, and HBO. My thumbnails make me laugh. I'm sorry if they don't make anybody else laugh, but they do make me laugh. But I got some action movies to recommend, including one I was just rewatching this morning called Raid Redemption, an absolutely fantastic Indonesian film that's over on Amazon Prime. And the sequel, I think, is there as well. Really great. I mean, if you like Kung Fu, like John Woo style action, you got to go see that movie, Raid Redemption. It is graphic. It is crazy violent. It's like a video game. It's high intensity, but really, really entertaining. So you can go and check out that movie. Well, JP Budget Collecting. JP, thank you, my man. I appreciate you, sir. He's like, there's only one of these I'm never going to use. Respect. I respect that. I get it. It makes total sense to me. Thank you, JP. I appreciate you, man. Oh my goodness. Did you see Rebel Ridge? I don't know Rebel Ridge. I'm gonna have to go look that one up. Is it streaming somewhere, John? I'll have to go and check that out, man. So those two videos are dropping this week. And like I said, I'll drop a short at some point on channel memberships, let people know in short kind of what's going on with the channel memberships. I'm also tomorrow night, I'm on No Good Comics channel doing Omni X-Men. We're going to be looking at 2 issues of New Mutants dealing with Silver Samurai. This is issues 5 and 6 of the New Mutants, and we get you get like motorcycle bike racing, you get the Silver Samurai battling the New Mutants, and you get Xavier struggling to learn how to walk again. Lots of good excitement going on in these issues, so don't miss out on that. Lots of good fun things going on there. Stealing John's chat. Don't forget, yes, he's got his Hot Wings challenge coming up. Absolutely. And I know that Christina earlier dropped the link that not only did I do the veterans auction this last Saturday, but next Saturday there's another auction to support veterans. Huge books, slabs, original art pieces, lots of good things going on there. So support vets. This is 2 great ways to do that. Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, the actor who's going to be playing John Stewart Green Lantern is on the thing. It's on Netflix. Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. So yeah, Ex-Illusionary Eric is going to be on with us on Tuesday, and we'll be breaking that down on Justin's channel. So be sure to be there for that on Tuesday. And then I think it's Thursday. Yes, I think Thursday I'm on Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy's YouTube channel. So having some fun over there with Gary B this week. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of across the YouTube's fun going on and things to enjoy. So definitely some good content coming around, whether I'm here or on other channels. I use my community tab for those that don't know that. If you go to community and hit it underneath, I share all the videos where I'm hanging out. So hopefully you can find those other shows that I'm doing and those other channels. And of course, like Preston's saying, any of those other auctions that I want to help to support vets, a lot of those kind of things, I try to share those things out there. So if you're subscribed, if you've got the notification bell clicked, you'll get those notifications when I make those posts, and you can then easily find those other channels and subscribe to them as well. So hopefully that makes it a little bit easier to jump around, right? So a huge thank you to those of you hanging out in the chat and chatting me up during this show. And I didn't even say hi to the great legend. How did I miss Robert? Great legend. Happy Monday to you. Thank you for coming by, and I appreciate you, sir. So this has been an opportunity to clear the air on my ridiculous hypocrisy and channel memberships for my channel, what it'll be like. Huge thank you to those of you that subscribed, that decided to become members today, and Mark for sharing out not only his own membership, but then like gifting out 5 memberships as well. So huge thank you for him for doing that. Hopefully this becomes something ongoing that is really substantive and valuable to people, and they feel like it adds a lot to their experience in the comic community. Now that you have memberships, what category YouTuber does that make me? He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I am, I guess, evolving. Am I coming out of my chrysalis? I don't know. Proof that you're human. I don't even know that that's a reality. Who knows? But thank you all. I hugely appreciate you, and I'll hope to see you tomorrow night over on No Good Comics channel to discuss New Mutants 5 and New Mutants 6. So thanks, gang, for coming by, and we will see you guys all again soon. Hopefully, if I can find the right button. There it is.